Now, I am excited to get into this episode, but I am also very, very sad that we are going to have to wait who knows how long to find out what happens in the rest of this story. Let's get into this episode 10 of House of the Dragon. Hello, it's your boy Brandon Cryer, aka EF Hunt of Entertainment. We are back with another review, and the review we got today is House of the Dragon episode 10. Yes, it is the finale episode. Now, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you think you'd be interested in content like this, movie and TV show reviews, trailer reactions, entertainment news, specifically sports, hip-hop, especially news regarding movies and TV shows, subscribe to the Brandon Cryer Network. You will not regret it. Now let's get into this House of the Dragon episode 10. Like I mentioned, I am sad that we are going to have to wait who knows how long to find out what happens and how this plays out, but I'm excited to get into this episode. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode and what you thought about the entire season, and if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, what were your favorite parts and what you're really looking forward to come in the next season. Now, this episode started off with Rhaenys arriving at Dragonstone, letting Rhaenyra and Daemon know that Viserys passed, which that was one of my biggest things when she got out. And I was thinking in episode 9, I was like, Daemon and Rhaenyra don't even know that Daemon's brother and her dad passed away. And they're just, we see the Greens in episode 9 just making all these moves, and they don't even know in Dragonstone that Viserys passed. So the first news that she relays to them is Viserys passed. We see both of them get really emotional. Rhaenyra was obviously really close to her father, and as much as Daemon never showed it, there were always small moments that really showed how much they truly did love each other and how much Daemon really did love his brother. And we really did see that the end of episode 8 when he dropped the crown and he helped him up to the throne. Rhaenys then lets her know that the Greens, Otto Hightower, Alicent, made moves to put Aegon on the throne. They crowned him. They had the High Sept name him in front of thousands so the masses know. So she let them know that all these steps were taken to basically solidify that he is on the throne. And as this is happening, she starts to feel pain in her belly because she is pregnant. So when she finishes getting this news, she goes off into the room to basically start to give birth because it seems like the baby is coming early. And as this scene's going on, we see Rhaenyra in pain. And they played this scene along with Daemon basically talking to the loyal lords that were on Dragonstone, planning for him to go to war. We see Viserys and Lucerys come into the room where Rhaenyra is while she's in pain. They ask about Daemon. There's a nice line that she says, and she's like, I don't know where he is, gone to madness, plotting his war. Because we see that for the last few episodes, Daemon's matured. He's kind of been calm, been chilling. And I knew as soon as he found out about not only Viserys passing, but that the Greens tried to snake the throne, I knew this guy was going to go crazy. And he was ready to go to war with his minimal people that he had. You know what I mean? He's got, we got 13 dragons, just naming all, like he was ready. He was ready. So we then see Rhaenyra tell Lucerys and Viserys to go to Daemon and basically stop him from, or kind of like have him just halt a little bit from going forward with his plans. And as this happens and they leave, we see her basically pull out and give birth to the baby herself. Even the nurses are like, let us help you, please. And she's just like doing it herself. It was like a really, really graphic scene. And it paired along with her hearing this news about not only her dad, but the Greens trying to take the throne. It was somewhat foreshadowing to me anyway. What I kind of got from that was it was kind of a sense of foreshadowing that as soon as she heard this, initially death came, death followed. So it really just to me foreshadowed that what's going to come is a lot of just war and death in the Dance of Dragons, which most of us know from the books that this is a huge war that occurs. So that was a crazy moment to start the episode. And to follow, we see Otto Hightower and some men actually roll up on Dragonstone with a proposition from the king, talking about if you feel loyalty to us, you could keep Dragonstone, your heirs could get this land and this land, basically laying out all the terms. And I actually missed a part before the terms were laid out. We see Rhaenyra on Syrax because And it was a dope entrance because Daemon's trying to hear the terms from Otto, and Otto's like, no, this message has to go right to Princess Rhaenyra. And we see her flying on Syrax and just land behind them, so they can't really go anywhere. She walks up in between them, turns around, here's the terms. Because she's not trying to go into war and she's trying to follow in her father's footsteps. And we know that Viserys was a peaceful king. That's her main goal, is to keep peace and keep the realm together. So she really thinks about these terms that they laid out for her. She's like, I'll let you know my answer in the morning. She goes inside and we see a discussion between her and her council members discussing who are their allies, what they should do, what potential plans they could follow through with to maybe siege King's Landing. We then see the return of the sea snake, Corlys Velaryon, the guy with the baddest dreads in Westeros. We finally see him back again after a few episodes, and he's in bed and he finally wakes up. Rhaenys is beside him, passed out. She wakes up and they have a nice conversation where Corlys was like, you know what, Rhaenys, you were right. I overstretched my hand. I played too much. She's like, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just go to high tide. I think that's where he said. And she was like, let's just chill out. And she mentions to him that basically Viserys is dead and that Jacaerys is in line, or Lucerys, one of them, I forgot which one that she mentioned in the moment, is in line for the throne. Meaning that his name, the potential for Corlys' name to be up there, and to be recognized on the Iron Throne. He thinks about it for a bit, and we see him come into the chambers where the rest of the lords and the Queen Rhaenyra are gathered. And in this scene, we see him pledge his loyalty to Rhaenyra. But also in this moment, they come to an agreement that they need to see who their allies are before they go to war. Just showing another move how Rhaenyra's keeping a calm head and kind of keeping everything together. And we see Rhaenys explain that to Corlys, that she's actually keeping a level head and she doesn't want to go to war, even though she had her seat taken. And he really takes that into consideration, which is why he actually feels loyalty to Rhaenyra. So they come up with a plan that in order to see who supports them, they were originally going to send ravens. But then Jacaerys, the older one, I think, was like, dragons are faster than ravens, let us go, and it'll send a good message that we're going. We see Corlys respond, and he's like, you know what, my queen, it's a good idea. So she's like, okay, sounds good. You know what? Let's do it. She's like, Jacaerys, you're going to go to Winterfell, and you're going to go to, I forgot the other place that she named, and she's like, Lucerys, you're going to go to Storm's End, which is where the Baratheons are, and she's like, that's not a far flight. So there wasn't much that took place in this episode, but there was, if that makes sense, right? So what I mean by that is there weren't a lot of like big jaw-dropping events or moments that kind of need to be talked about, but it's just things were laid out to set up for next season to come, because next season is going to really turn up, and I'm going to get into that obviously when I get to the ending. So like I mentioned, the two sons were sent to go off to these two places, and there's this nice shot of them flying off, but we also see Rhaenys on Meleys, I think is her dragon's name, going to the port that she mentioned to kind of watch over that so that they could kind of cut off supplies to King's Landing. So we then see the episode ends with Viserys landing in Storm's End to try and get the Baratheon support. He lands, and as he's walking into the castle, we hear Vhagar roar. He looks to the side and Vhagar's just chilling. This big ass fucking dragon just chilling, and shakes this guy, and I'm like, I already got a bad feeling about this. I was somewhat kind of spoiled about this, but as I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is for sure happening. So we see Viserys go into the castle, talk to, I forgot what the name of the Baratheon that was. I forgot the name of the Baratheon that was on the throne at the time, but Viserys presents the message, and we see Aemond actually there, because obviously we know Vhagar was outside, but the Baratheon was like, what do you offer me? He was like, your mom just sends this message asking me to field loyalty, and the king came with a marriage pact, basically saying that one of his daughters could marry someone from the Greens. I can't exactly remember who the marriage pact was between, but we see that he was like, what are you offering me for me to field loyalty to you guys? He was like, are you gonna marry one of my daughters? And he's like, I'm actually betrothed already. Then he's like, there's no more conversation to be had then, right? So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Dragonstone and give my mom the message. As he's leaving, we see Aemond be like, do you think you're just gonna come here and just leave? We see this guy rip off the eye patch, and he has like a ruby or some kind of gem just in it, a blue gem in his, like a sapphire maybe, just in his eye. And he's like, I want my debt owed. So he's like, I want an eye. He's like, you don't have to go blind, but he's like, I want an eye. And he's like, I'm not doing it. So we see Aemond get mad and try to go after him. And the Baratheon stands up and he's like, blood will not be shed under my roof. He came here just to give me a message. Bring Prince Viserys back to his dragon. So we see him get escorted to his dragon, and he doesn't really see Vhagar as he goes outside, and it's pouring, storming. We see Viserys get on his dragon, and he starts to fly away, and he's like, he's trying to talk to his dragon, stay calm, stay focused, and he's flying, right? And we know something's about to pop off, and you hear a big roar door coming from behind, and it's just really cloudy, so we can't really see anything behind him. There is this sick shot of where he's flying on his dragon, and we see Vhagar just fly, like a kind of brief shadow just fly above him. And honestly, it looked absolutely amazing. It looked sick. Oh, and then honestly, I'm gonna bounce back to this. I'm gonna come back to this. Sorry. I gotta mention this part. I forgot about mentioning when Daemon went down to try and tame Vermithor. I think that's the name of the dragon down there, but that dragon looks massive. I don't think it's as big as Vhagar, but that dragon looks massive down there. But the next time we see Daemon after that is at the end, and I'm gonna get to that. So I'm wondering if he tamed that dragon or what ended up happening with that moment, because that was a sick shot where even he was just standing and we see Vermithor kind of come from the back, and it was just like a brief before he does like his Dracarys flame to kind of really light up his face. We just see a brief shadow of him. Oh, yeah, honestly, the dragons look sick. The dragons look absolutely sick in this show and this episode. So now jumping back to the end where we see Vhagar fly over Viserys, and Vhagar loops behind Viserys again and kind of like snaps at him, and Viserys sees that. So then obviously he's aware of him now, so he starts to fly away, and it seems like he gets away, and it kind of focuses on Vhagar and Aemon, and we see Viserys come out of the clouds and his dragon blow fire on Vhagar. So because of this, I'm guessing it just pissed Vhagar off, and Aemon doesn't have full control of Vhagar yet. Or maybe he never will, but Vhagar just snaps, and we see Aemon in the moment try and calm down Vhagar, and he's just like, don't do it. And as Viserys is flying, we see him fly up and up and up. I mean, he gets to a point where he's past the clouds and it's not storming and it's sunny and it's nice and calm and serene. And you think everything's going to be okay. And you just see Vhagar come out of the clouds and literally chomp this motherfucker's dragon in half. My jaw was dropped, and I'm just like, yo, that really shows the size difference between the two dragons. And I'm just like, yo, Vhagar's going to be fucking up bare dragons, because he chomped it in half to the point where it was literally in pieces, like 4 separate pieces his dragon was. So Viserys is dead, okay? Dead. My jaw was dropped. Like, I had a feeling he was going to die, but I thought it was going to be like a sword fight, and that's how he died. I didn't think that it was going to be a dragon back fight, and one dragon literally chomps the other dragon to pieces while the one guy is riding him. Like, I can't even, like, get over that. And that's not even how the episode exactly ends. We need to see the Blacks, Daemon, Rhaenyra, and them find out about this information for next season. No words are said. The council is gathered in Dragonstone, and we see Daemon. And this is why I mentioned the last time we saw him, he was underground trying to tame the dragon. So we see him come into the room, bring Rhaenyra aside, and I'm guessing he told Rhaenyra that Viserys is gone, and we see her turn around, angry look, she's tearing, and it just implies that war is here and we're going to war. You know what I mean? I was chilling and trying to stay back, but because you killed my son, now it's a war thing. And even in the moment, we see Aemon, like I mentioned, try and stop Vhagar. He just couldn't stop him. And when he looked down and he saw the dragon in pieces, he knew exactly what he did and what was about to pop off, because he's not stupid. He's not like Aegon, where he just chills and drinks and just has sex with women. He actually has taken time to study and learn about war and learn about rules and things that you shouldn't do. So he's very knowledgeable in that world, that he knows that because this happened, he knows that this is going to start a war. He 100% knows, and you see the look on his face like, fuck, what did I do? So it's a war. It's here. The Dance of the Dragons is here. So when season 2 comes, it's going to be a straight war thing. And I am mad excited. So that is a recap of episode 10 of House of the Dragon. Amazing episode. Again, it wasn't as eventful as the other episodes, and it didn't share the same tenseness because all the other episodes had that tense feeling to it because it was literally building up to this moment, the war. So this was just the point where the two sides are kind of deciding if they should go to war or they should actually do it, where all the other episodes were build up. So this episode wasn't as tense or as eventful, but it was a very, very good episode nonetheless, and I'm very excited for the next season. Now I'm just going to briefly talk about this season as a whole and what I thought about it. Honestly, I really enjoyed House of the Dragon. I knew it was going to be good because HBO wouldn't put out anything that they didn't think was amazing. And on top of that, I really didn't think that this show would be, I thought it would be good, but I didn't think that it would be this good. And there definitely were points before the the show came out like a while ago, before I saw trailers and stuff, that I was like, do we really need this? Game of Thrones is so good and so sacred. And now that this is out, I'm so glad that they decided to do this, because I love the world of Westeros, and the fact that we get this extension of the universe that we've come to love and come to know. This is great just kind of history building for that world that we're already knowledgeable with. So I love this show. This show is absolutely amazing on every single aspect. It is a knock out of the park like Barry Bonds. Every single level: acting, directing, writing, storytelling, narrative, character building, character dynamics, character relationships, everything you want to, every aspect you want to think about. This show hit it on an A+ level every single episode. And there was a part of me that was not waiting, but there was a part of me that was like, I wonder if there's going to be an episode where it kind of stumbles or slips, where I'm like, yeah, it was all right. Not even close to the other ones. No, every single episode was a Barry Bonds hit. And I am very excited for season 2. It's just sad that we're going to have to wait who knows how long, like I mentioned, to get the rest of this series. But that is it for my House of the Dragon episode 10 review. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you think you'd be interested in content like this, reviews, movie and TV show reviews. My next review is probably going to be Tales of the Jedi, which comes out in a couple days. Black Panther is going to be coming out soon. So if you're interested in reviews, trailer reactions, entertainment news, specifically about movies and TV, subscribe to the Brandon Cryan Network. You will not regret it. I appreciate you for watching, and let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode and what you thought about this series. And I hope you come back to join me for House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 1. I appreciate you for watching. Catch you next time.